Hey guys, I want to show you some things I sold over the weekend. I thought it'd be a kind of a cool update. This is a unique, oh, it's not all that unique, but I generally don't sell this wide a range of things. I mean, I sell all this stuff regularly, but just today was kind of a weird day and it all sold kind of odd things, so I thought it'd be kind of a cool time to show you some things that sold. I don't remember exactly what I paid for everything. I have a ballpark. I know I have what I sold it for, but you know, have to kind of go with my gut a little bit on what I paid for it, because some of it's been around a while, so I can't remember. So I will show you. First thing is, this is actually a cool thing. Let me see here what I sold it for. Not much, and today I would never buy this, but I bought this. It is a Dictionary of Elementary Drawing. It's really old. Can't remember the exact date from it, but 1936 actually, first edition. But I wouldn't buy it now, but I can tell by my background that this book, probably, I've had it for sale for 8 years probably, which is ridiculous. I would never do that now, but once you get stuff for sale, the work is done. So it sold for 10 bucks. Not great, but it's off my shelf and I'm getting a couple bucks for it, so that's okay. Another book that's kind of cool is this 1954 phone directory from Oil City, Pennsylvania. I paid probably a couple bucks for this, got it at a thrift store, and I believe this sold for 37 bucks. That's kind of cool. Cool advertising. Some people were into that, so that's neat. With the book thoughts in mind, I got this set of Ellen Heidelbrand. Can't remember what I paid for this. I can't remember if I bought it at a yard sale or a thrift store. Feels like it would have been a yard sale, because I just don't feel like I would have bought that at a yard sale. Feels like it would have been a yard sale, not a thrift store. I don't think I would have bought it at a thrift store. Maybe I did, I can't remember. Sold for $22.49. Again, one of those things where I'll make some money, probably 10, 15 bucks, but you know, not really all that much to get excited over. Set of books. I made a purchase of commentaries from a retiring preacher not too long ago, quite a few of them, and I've sold some, haven't sold them all. This is Word Studies in the New Testament by Vincent. Didn't go, well, of course my items go on sale, so what I think they'll go for oftentimes isn't what they go for. But $19.99, set of 4. Maybe wouldn't have bought this just if I seen this on a shelf somewhere, but it was part of a larger deal, so it made sense, and actually sold pretty quickly. It'll be an easy ship, medium mail, no problems there. Some little things that I sold, maybe kind of unique, believe it or not. I'll show you just a couple of them. Stainless steel nuts. Believe it or not, I have sold thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of hardware. Bolts, nuts, wire lugs, screws, specific ones. Radio making equipment stuff like ends and connectors and things like that. I always look at it because you can get this stuff dirt cheap, and I think I have this sold for $10.49, but I sold quite a few lots, but I probably listed one listing with a multiple of like 15, so 15 times $10.49, that's a $150 listing that I did really quickly. So therefore it made sense for me. But 25 of these sold for $10.49. Kind of a cool thing. I do remember, I believe I paid $5 for these. Brass boots. One is a lighter, and I believe the other one's meant to be an ashtray. Pretty cool. Can't remember right off the brand, although if I looked it'd probably tell me. Evans Copper Tone Cowboy Table Lighter and Ashtray. Pretty cool. I had them for sale for quite a while, but I got 65 bucks out of them. So that was, you know, that's a pretty good sale. Small, easy to ship. And it's interesting, as I've been doing this for quite a few years. I've noticed, and you'll notice, that a lot of my items are small. and easy to ship. Not every one, of course, but you just learn to gravitate towards things that are manageable. Belt buckle, right to bear arms belt buckle. I probably paid $1 or $2 for it, or maybe less. I don't know. It was on sale, sold for $9.74. Not a big money maker, but it sold quick. Here's a cool find. I bought a whole pile of these. In fact, I sold a fair amount of them, and I have 20 left. So pretty cool. These doorknobs handles, door pulls, I guess you would call them, for whatever, dressers, buffets, things people were refinishing. 6 of them sold for $29.94, and I got 20 left. And that was again a listing where I was able to make one listing for a bunch of items, sit on a shelf, and I just simply wait until they sell. They can sell all at once, which sometimes happens, or they can sell onesie twosie. Again, buyer pays shipping. Matters nothing to me whether they do ones or 2 at a time, and I generally make a couple bucks on the shipping, so it's okay if it's broken up. I'm not going to get this out of the bag, but this is an old brass nozzle set from a watering system, like from an old dispenser, like in a not a grocery store, a convenience store, maybe a gas station, maybe a dairy owl. It had like insulated crocks, and this was the brass nozzles. Couldn't sell the crock thing for nothing. It just, I had it for sale for a long time. It was just taking up space. It was in the way. I trashed it, pulled these off of it, and sold them for $49.99. So that was kind of a cool story. Here is a pair of machinist angle blocks. It's going to be kind of hard to see. There, kind of can see it, but they're thin. There's a lot of them there. Again, I have bought a lot of machinist tools in the past. Still would if I found a good deal. Believe it or not, that doesn't look like much. That little sold for 70 bucks. I have 3 more available to sell too, so that's kind of cool little find. Small, ships easy. Here's an interesting. I probably have 100, 200. I'm guessing blazers and suits. I'm not a fancy dressing guy, but if you go buy a suit, you know they're very, very expensive. So I go to the thrift store. I've learned what ones hold some value, and I can usually get them for $10 or less. And this one, I'm not going to take it out of the package. It's a Ralph Lauren unlined linen 42 regular suit jacket, blazer I guess we call. Sold it for $96.75. So I probably paid $10 or less, $96.75. So they're slow, they take forever to sell, but it's worth it to wait. Here's a Lionel train controller for train track. Nothing special there. I think I bought that in a lot of train stuff. I don't even know what I would assign a value on that, what that would be, but it sold for $32.05. Again, I'm having trouble remembering what I paid for the whole lot, but I'm a shoe guy, love shoes. I probably have 500-600 pairs for sale. Can't see them, but I have racks in the back that are just slam full. This is a pair of men's monk strap, kind of a round toe. Interesting brand. They're made in Hong Kong. Kuhu. First time I've ever seen that brand, but I could tell by feeling them. I knew I've sold enough shoes. They were a good shoe. I paid very little for them because the place that was selling them didn't know what they were either. And didn't get as much as I wanted out of them, but they sold really quick. So I was happy. $37.49 for this pair of shoes. Kind of neat. Another pair of shoes. Rolland men's wingtips. Those sold for $74.99. Great. Another pair of shoes. Men's gravity defyer. Kind of a comfort orthotic shoe, I think you would consider it. And it sold, they sold for $30. Actually, a little disappointed. I thought they'd go for more, but they're sold, so I'm happy with that. Old camp stove. Undo it, has a little burner stove in it. this is from quite a while ago, as far as when it was made. 1947 actually. And I paid $10 for that at a yard sale. Sold for $64.12. Two little slot cars. There's one and there's the other. One of them is broken. Slot cars are money. If you find the right ones, I've sold them for hundreds of dollars. Just the bodies, not even the motor part. But found these at a yard sale, $1 a piece. They thought they were Matchbox cars. I knew that they weren't. And I got, for the pair, kind of rough shape, $32.24. So good return. Bought a bunch of ATV stuff in the past, a huge lot, been selling it off. This is a coil, I believe, an ignition coil. That sold for $29.24. Pair of women's calf length boots. I bought 53 pair of boots from this yard sale not too long ago, and that was for $300. So it's basically I think I figured about $5 a pair roughly, and that pair sold for $40. So that wasn't bad. This is kind of a cool thing. 1970s Halloween mask. I don't know what it's supposed to represent, but if I saw this in my sleep, I probably would be pretty scared. So that was pretty cool. I paid $10 for a bunch of masks, and this one sold for $24.99. So I'll make good money when that's all said and done. All right, I think that's everything that I sold. And then my wife, she does on the side kind of when she has time, because she's very busy with the kids. She buys and has her own eBay store, and you know, it's nice for her to be able to make some money. But she went to a local thrift store and she found this for real cat. I believe it even had, she tested it and I believe it even had a problem. It looks new, but I think she said it might have had a problem. And she still sold it for $100. And I think she paid under $10 for it. So yeah, that was a good find. So I just thought I'd share that with you guys. Kind of a weird mix of stuff. But that is kind of how every day looks. Just a variety of stuff. And I've got all kinds of stuff in here. I could show you cool stuff I think is cool. But it is only cool if it sells. So me thinking it's cool really doesn't matter. I'm more interested in if somebody else does. So sometimes you swing and sometimes you have to wait. Like that notebook took me 8 years to sell, so we try to avoid that. But anyhow, some things I sold. Maybe I'll do this more often, I don't know. Every once in a while I just get an itch to make a video. So thanks. Take it easy.